Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to What Shall We Do Next. And today I wanted to talk to you guys about something I briefly touched up on the other day, and it is about ghosts. And excuse me if I look all gross and sweaty right now. I literally just got back from my run about 30 minutes ago, and I ran even further this time. I've been going every day this week. I did have like a couple of cheat days where my legs were kind of aching a little bit, so I walked instead. But overall, it's going pretty good. Let me know in the comment section, be honest, do you think I've lost weight? Like since like a week ago, just like looking at me, do you think I've lost any weight? But anyway, guys, the other day I mentioned to you guys that I've changed a lot. I've even been changing my views on the world and like things that I think about a lot, and I've become a little more, I guess you could say, skeptical of many things, one of which being ghosts. Now, I guess I've always considered myself a believer, but there has always been a part of me that's been like, well, I don't really know for sure. I mean, yeah, I've had experiences like everybody else says they have. I've never seen a full body apparition of a ghost before. I've only ever seen what was like a misty figure. And I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of things that I think about. I've really been trying to think about everything that I've ever experienced, which I just associated it to be paranormal. And then I think realistically or logically I try to, and I think like, are ghosts really even real? Like, I really want to believe they are, because I want to believe that there is an afterlife. But what if it's just our brain? I mean, they say we only use like, what is it, like 20% of the brain? I'm not sure on that, don't quote me on that. But it's like a very small percentage of our brain actually gets used to think and stuff like that. The other 80% or whatever just doesn't ever get used, I guess. So even to us humans, like, our brain is a very mysterious and misunderstood thing. And it makes me think, like, what if every now and then, when we think we've seen a ghost, if we, those people who claim to have seen like a full-bodied apparition standing in the doorway of like Abraham Lincoln or something like that with his hat, it's like, how do you know that was actually a ghost? I mean, I'm not saying you're lying about that, but I'm saying, what if it was your brain? What if it's some kind of stress related over, maybe you're not getting the nutrients that you need. Maybe you're sleep deprived. Maybe it's like some kind of hallucination, because the brain is a very mysterious thing, and it can make you see and do things that, are very unexplained. And so I've been thinking about that a lot, and it's also made me think about like how if we see ghosts, right? Ghosts are supposedly people. If we see these people who are dead in real life, and we see somebody, and we always claim to see them like, oh, for example, Abraham Lincoln, he was wearing his big hat. But how did the hat become a ghost? The hat is made out of, it's a man-made thing. Like, it's made out of materials. It's not an actual living entity that has a soul inside of it, not like the person himself. So although he was probably like, that was his most known outfit, like he was known for wearing that hat, does that mean that when he died, a hat also became a ghost into the afterlife? Like, it makes me wonder, if somebody claimed to see the ghost of Abraham Lincoln, if you were able to walk over to that ghost and reach out and touch him and like touch his hat, would your hand feel a physical hat, or would your hand go through it? If it would go through it, like you would expect it would, being a ghost, why is the hat a ghost? Why is his coat a ghost? It's the same with like ghost ships. Why do people claim to see a ghost ship? Why do people claim to see a ghost train? How can a train and a ship become a ghost? And like, I don't know, I've been really skeptical on a lot of things. I guess I am skeptical on the paranormal. Like I said, I've had experiences myself that, to me at the time, seem unexplained. But you're very quick, I feel like we as human beings are very quick to point something that we don't understand and there's no explanation that we can see. We're very quick to point out that was a ghost. And like, we're very quick to blame something that we don't understand on it being a ghost. But in reality, it could be many things. Like, we all hear bumps in the night, we all hear creaks and stuff like that, but it could be house settling noises. Like, the house could be adapting to the climate. We go from hot weather in the summer to cold weather in the winter. Of course, there's the in-between stages of all of that. The house is adjusting to the temperature. There's going to be creaks and noises. The same inside. Sometimes we have the air conditioning on, sometimes we have the heating on. And so the house is constantly, the temperature changes, the climate changes. Maybe things are making weird things happen. That mixed with stress, sleep deprivation, maybe you're deficient in some kind of vitamins or nutrients or something like that. Your brain is hallucinating. Who knows? Like, it's something that I've really been thinking about lately, and I wanted to make a video talking about it more because I really wanted to ask you guys, and I want you to be 1010% honest with me in the comment section. Have you ever seen a ghost? Like, have you ever actually seen a ghost? Because it makes me wonder, why don't we see ghosts? If they are there, why don't we ever see them? And yeah, I guess it requires energy and all of that stuff, but like, why can't they just show themselves? Like, is there some kind of... Why is it some can show themselves to some people, but not other people? I don't understand. It's something that I'm really skeptical about. There was... Like, I am a very big believer in the ghosts at night, and I've told you this before. Like, when I'm going up the stairs at night, I suddenly get this overwhelming feeling that there's a demon coming up the stairs behind me, and it freaks me out. But again, it's probably all in my mind. Like I said, the brain is a very weird thing. In the darkness, your brain runs amok. Your mind runs amok. You start thinking of things that you can't, that scare you. Because in the darkness, you feel vulnerable. And when you're in the darkness, that's when you're most vulnerable. And I feel like that's a natural human instinct, is to be afraid when you're in the dark. Because when you're in the dark, you can't see. Your senses are deprived of their purposes. And so you feel vulnerable because you can't see if you're, in any danger of some kind of attack, something to jump out and spook you. So, like, what if it is just your mind being overactive, overstimulated in that moment, and that's what makes you swear up and down there's a fucking demon coming up the stairs behind you, ready to friggin' lick your ankles with its prickly tongue? Because, like, that's what I think about. I do. But in like the middle of the day, I do sit there and, like, it's a beautiful sunny day, and I'll be outside and I'll be like surrounded by people, and then that's when, like, you're least afraid, and you suddenly think, meh, what is going on right now in the Conjuring house? Like, I'm out here enjoying the day. It's a beautiful sunny day. The birds are chirping. The wind is blowing. And the butterflies are out. And, it's a beautiful, glorious day. But then suddenly, do you ever think, like, what's taking place right now inside the Conjuring house? Is there some scary shit going on right now? Like, that's what I think about. Or is it just an empty, old, lonely house? I mean, I know somebody lives there now. But like, if, say, he was out too, like, everybody's at work, whatever, and the house is just sitting there, is there shit literally getting thrown around like poltergeist activity, or is it just sitting there, an empty house? Like, I don't know. I mean, it makes me wonder, like, what is really going on? Is there really ghosts? I hope there is. I don't know for sure. I've never seen something that is convincing enough to me to make me an actual 100% believer. Like, I'm just a skeptic. I want to know if they're real. That's why I would consider myself to be a paranormal enthusiast. I do like ghost stories. I do like to be a bit scared now and then. I like looking into this stuff. But when it comes down to it, do I really think ghosts are real? I'm not sure. I can't say. It's the same as, like, heaven and hell and God and this and that. I'm skeptical on that too. Because if you read the Bible, there's a lot of stuff that's like, somebody killed the dragon. But a dragon is a literal mythical creature. And the Bible supposedly took place, say, 2,000 years ago when Jesus was around. And, like, there's not been, in just 2,000 years, we haven't found any proof of an actual dragon existing. But yet we can find proof of dinosaurs from 60 million years ago. We can find proof they existed, just not a dragon. And, like, how Moses separated the ocean so the refugees could cross. Like, that's impossible. You can't do that. It's physically impossible. And, like, Jesus walking on water, you can't. It's physically impossible. Like, and the whole Adam and Eve thing, like, I find it to be a whole load of baloney. But it doesn't make me think, like, there is no God. I would never say to somebody, there isn't a God. God's not real. Because I don't know that. There could be a God. I definitely think there is something much bigger out there. But it's just, like, I don't know if I definitely don't think I believe the Bible 100%. I mean, some of it's just, it's absurd. Like, some of the stuff in there is absurd. And that goes for every religion, though. I feel like all religions are just something that's kind of man-made. It's not actually, like, we don't know what's out there. We never will. No human on earth knows what's out there. So it's kind of crazy to me. Like, I don't know. I am a very logical thinker. I'm a very skeptical person. And it's some of these things I've been thinking about lately. And I had this conversation last night with my grandmother, actually. And I was talking to her about it because she was saying that my mom's husband, who lives in my great-grandmother's house, apparently he's been, like, smelling cigar smoke in the house. And my great-grandfather who used to live there, who is dead now, been dead for 20 odd years, but he used to smoke cigars. And I was like, I don't know, but how did this, even if he did smoke cigars in life, how did the smell of a burning cigar just transfer into the afterlife? How is it still there in that room for us to smell now in the afterlife, but it's in the afterlife? Like, how can a cigar be in the afterlife, for a start? Because it's not an actual living thing. And a cigar, like, if a ghost can't find the energy to manifest itself and prove its existence, how can a cigar smoke do that? Like, how can a cigar prove that it's in the afterlife, but a human being can't? You know what I mean? It's just kind of crazy to me to think about. Let me know in the comment section, do you guys believe in ghosts? I'm curious. Smash a like on the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out and chase your dreams.